So you have moved up. You literally have just cleared the edge of the mountain pass behind you. As James Beecham has told you, you've got a huge open plain to travel to. And if you head directly northwest, you can try to circumnavigate the horizontal mountain region that separates the northern peninsula and kind of skirt round it close to the coastline. Alrighty.
Okay.
So
Beecham?
yes.
How... Is there anything on the plains we need to be aware of, much like the pass? Any dangers or...
Well,
And I can't imagine much existing up here. Well, that's...
obviously, the pass itself was potentially more dangerous due to the fact that we were so boxed in. Of course, the plains offer much more room for maneuver and the ability to outrun certain things. When I came this way, I was, of course, on a good, sturdy horse. I heard some strange noises. I saw some bizarre shadows in the dark. And I believe I saw roving bands of humanoids in the far-off distance, but being on a swift horse, I was able to leave such things far behind me. Not quite sure how fast this particular nag is, and...
Because I'll be honest, the only thing I really know that's up here is if we go to slightly to the north and to the east, there's that citadel. The Gitsari Citadel. Yes, but I don't know exactly where it is. I just know it's north of Astardan, which would be beyond the mountains.
These Githzari you speak of, are they friendly folk? But you said they're northeast. It's kind of going in the wrong direction, really.
I know, which is kind of unfortunate, because they would probably give us some sanctuary if they were on the way. We do have relations with them that ended on moderately okay terms after the war. I mean, they know
Honestly,
us, at
I'd
least.
probably still be afraid to take up shelter with them.
And they're out of the way, so it's not pertinent to us. It's just... That's the only thing I legitimately know that's north of here.
He says, well, I mean, how far north? Would it perhaps be just slightly to the east, where we may make a short detour, but find sustenance and shelter? Or do you feel it's too far to the east to justify such an excursion?
I honestly think it would be too far out of our way. If you traveled through these plains and you went with haste, we should probably try, even though we're in, this, mended as it is, as Kia has done.
As I said, numerous times I broke into a gallop and fled until the things that I saw were far behind me. I dare say we may encounter such things that may not be able to be outrun with a horse and cart, but perhaps with the blessings of Saint Cuthbert and your good luck, we may avoid many of the hostilities. Of course.
So there's no village or place that we could get to that's on the way, or is it really is just scattered?
If there is, I'm afraid I did not discover anything. Again, this is so far from the normal reaches of civilization. Only tribes and such things are likely. Nomads and things would be really making home here. As you've already witnessed, the pass is not the safest route to travel through. So, there's really not much in the facts of... while the plains are still technically part of Arconis, very few have any interest in settling there. Although, that being said, a trade outpost, if it was well fortified, would be of some benefit.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think we should make haste and go as directly as possible to the northwest. What do you guys
Direct, I
think?
like it. Yes, please.
He says, well, lead on. You have the reins.
I do. As we continue.
As you're kind of doing that, you notice Cal has popped out of Kia's bag. And
Cal, it's cold.
He's sitting, like, on the very cusp of the little tiny bit of wood that remains on the passenger side of the cart. He is perched on it, and he is kind of glaring, eyeballing Kialiana. At which point, mentally, Kia hears, he says, don't think that fireball that you hurled went unnoticed by me.
What?
He said, number 3, thou shalt consider all options before fireballing thine enemies.
And I did. I didn't do it till the very last moment, and then I realized we could run.
Well, maybe this time it was justified. This time.
It was. I knew there was no trees, there was nothing that could catch fire, there was no Marlowe, so I think it was completely justified, Cal.
We hear what Kia's saying.
Just hear
right?
my side.
Over the helping. Thanks
So,
for the resub. 3
as-
months for you. Take off your pants, folks. Spam your pants off. Spam your hypes.
So as this seemingly one-sided conversation that we both know where is two-sided, I'm just giving Kia this look, like...
Cal thinks that I broke one of our rules.
Rules?
I've been telling you, I have a very strict set of rules I follow now.
Oh my god, is this like the list?
No, it's not like the list.
Because that list was... I mean, for someone... Let's be real, that list was... sad. I mean, I understand the point of the list. What, now you have rules?
Rule number 3, thou shalt consider all options before fireballing thine enemies. Have you seen me fireball in any circumstances where I shouldn't have?
I honestly thought you had just moved on from fireballing after the Verdant Prince. I didn't think it was rules you were following.
I must, and I do.
What is Marlowe doing at this point as this conversation is happening? Oh, you're muted.
She's muted.
She's just listening.
Okay. How many of these rules do you have?
10.
And are they based on laws like what I do?
No. They're based off of things that me and Cal have decided would make me a better person. Experiences I've had in the past. You know. Things I should and shouldn't do.
Well, as much as I value Cal's guidance,
Yes. Listen to a cat. Cats know best.
why wouldn't you bring up rules talking to me?
It's not something I want to just shout. I've never been one to follow rules or guidelines, and honestly, I'm still struggling with it, even though we've spent months on it. Do you want to see them? Or would you rather just
Well, will they
let
interfere
me leave
with
it
the law as I can interpret and know it?
interfere with the law?
Well, if you have a rule that says, I don't know, kill a peasant who is acting against, you know...
Why? How could that make me a
fear.
better person, Radovan?
Well, it didn't stop Raisa,
Haven't
remember?
you... I have changed since the war, and
I've noticed.
I wouldn't do such a thing.
I...
Especially because of the laws
hope
that
so.
I've been given by Cal.
So what are these rules?
The 10 Calmandments.
Just give me a second. I'll display them for you. Because they're a thing. And we
Sure,
have
I'll
'em.
start reading them.
Yeah,
Let me know when I should start reading
Yeah, just
them.
give me a second.
Radovan's jaw, my jaw definitely drops. I'm not laughing. Radovan's he's just like. But I can't get enough of that
You
name.
can't even.
I can't even.
They are called the 10 Commandments, Radovan. Similar to probably maybe something you follow, but I can't talk about that because of one of the rules, so...
Alrighty. Yeah.
I get my laws and rules from a god.
So does she.
So do I, Radovan.
Cal is a god. Let me go ahead and add a new handout for you
Okay.
with the
so
10
I'm gonna read
Commandments.
them. Okay, I'm gonna pull out of my my bag this folded up sheet of paper, and I'm gonna open it up. You sure you want to hear these? Kind of embarrassed.
Look, Kia, it's honestly, it is also like the list in that I applaud your efforts and it's just so.
This is nothing like the list. This is
fair
This is gospel to me.
All right. So yes. So here are the 10 Commandments.
Number 1, thou shalt have no other familiars but me. That being Cal, of course. Number 2, thou shalt not make fun of Radovan's god. Number 3, thou shalt consider all options before fireballing thine enemies. Number 4, remember the sacrifices of those who fought bravely and keep them sacred. Number 5, honor thy subjects with grace and humility. Number 6, thou shalt only end the life of those deserving. That's an interesting one. Number 7, thou shalt not have a one-night stand. We argued with that one for weeks, I'll be honest. Number 8, thou shalt not steal from the innocent. Number 9, thou shalt not ride upon the backs of your friends. Number 10, thou shalt be fair in thy dealings with all races, even orcs. I'm going to fold it back up and put it in my bag. Does that seem to break any of your laws?
Cal has
Radovan?
jumped into Radovan's lap and is staring up at him with his huge, big cat-like eyes, and he's just glaring at Radovan, daring him to speak.
If there ever comes a time when you need to ride me, I guess I would give you permission.
Thank you.
Cal is kind of sitting like this with one paw slightly raised.
What?
Honestly, Kia,
Yes.
Every
Good
time
for you.
Radovan speaks, he's twitching that paw with the claws fully extended, like he's going to dab him at any moment should he dare say anything he doesn't approve of.
so, good for you.
Okay, you see Cal kind of retract his claws and put his paws back, and then
I thought
he
it
jumps
dies.
out of Radovan's lap and comes and climbs back in his bag, mentally saying to you, I think we should make them all agree to these as well. Especially Radovan.
Radovan, I wanted to emulate what you do with your god. You have a list of rules, and
Well, I have had my fair share of one-night stands.
oh well,
Just so
that's
you
a little
know.
different. I don't approve of your mandate too, and I don't want to talk about that any further.
I'm just gonna start with the reins, urging the horse on again. Just kind of in silence, just thinking about these rules and how arbitrary some of them are, specific, but also how some of them are really good. And he approves
All right.
quietly.
Okay, well, you continue to ride across the open plains, and it's not that long before the mountains are just rock behind you, and the entrance to the path behind you is no more than a small speck. It's beginning to get late. As much as the wind was a problem in the past because it was kind of funneled down to you, you're now realizing how, while you had to run into strong headwinds, just how it kind of protected you from the left and the right, as it seems like these bizarre, crazy winds know no direction. They're like hitting you. 1 minute they're hitting you from the front, then they're hitting you from the left, and the whole canopy is like leaning over, and you guys are having to struggle just to keep your tarp up. Also, a lot of wisps of wind are coming down through that massive gaping hole in the top of the tarp where the Fomorian giant hurled that rock that went straight down through it. Beecham is kind of like all the way to the back, as far away from that hole as possible, with his knees up around his chest and his arms wrapped round him, trying to cuddle himself to keep warm. He kind of looks up at that hole and says, "Any of you a seamstress?"
I'm gonna point at Radovan.
He says, "Oh, that makes
What?
sense."
What?
Well, the hole. It could do with stitching.
I'm gonna take my hands and do a mending spell. Don't
Okay.
need Radovan for this.
Alright, so you make whole the canopy. Alright. So literally you push it back in place and you can kind of see the rip all the way around just vanish. And he's like, "Oh, that's a neat trick."
Well, I learned it on the road.
He says, this big gaping part here in the back and at the front, can you do anything about those?
She did a mending before last stream when we were leaving.
It was like at the end. I don't know if he heard me.
Oh, I probably
Oh.
didn't.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
do that. I'll do another mending spell on those.
Well, no,
Check
he's
this
talking
out.
about the actual back of the canopy that doesn't have a cover and the front
Oh,
where
oh.
Radovan
Oh,
is.
oh.
So that's
Yeah.
not really
Make
something you
something
can
from
mend. That would
nothing,
need like actually
James.
adding to.
Sorry.
Yeah, you mended the front, right, Kia, where the seat was.
I just
remember-
mended the broken
or
thing.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, because you basically a big chunk of the back tailboard was busted off.
Yeah.
The passenger seat area was missing at the front, and then there was a huge hole in the canopy. So you repaired the front part of the seat, and now you fixed the canopy as well.
Okay.
Cool. Alrighty. Okay. This is the second day. Are you planning on resting up here, Radovan? Are you gonna? Because the other night you
Hopefully.
had protection from elements on the horse.
And myself, yeah.
Right?
So
That's expired, and you haven't had 8 hours rest since then.
so if it's nighttime, I guess we would rest. I mean,
okay.
I guess the plan moving forward actually is to cast endure elements on the horse and himself during the night, so he could sleep during the day, right? Because in the nighttime,
So you're gonna kind of
to
switch
move.
out.
yeah, the
Okay.
sleep cycles. Because at nighttime we can be more stealthy, right? I mean, we just
You're
Go.
definitely harder to see, but of course it's harder to see stuff coming too.
that's true.
Good thing I am an elf and I can see in the dim light, but not this snow and sleet.
But yes, I'm going to keep casting the elements on the horse
Okay.
and whoever is driving. So if Kia wants to drive, he will cast it on her and not himself. Or Marlowe.
Okay.
Okay.
Or Beach.
So whoever's stuck up on the front, basically getting blasted,
Yeah.
and then that lasts for 24 hours.
Correct.
So presumably they're then stuck at the front for 24 hours.
Well, they're stuck at the front for like the worst of the weather.
Okay.
I mean, obviously they don't.
So
have
they're
to
riding through the night when it's the worst. Okay.
No.
Alrighty. Okay, you travel on for the largest part of the next day. By now, you are definitely way, way out in the open. You have seen a few things. Nothing particularly vicious. Large, oversized birds flying in the sky. You have seen, much like James Beecham said, small groups of humanoids in the far-off distance, but they don't seem to be moving towards you when they're not bothering you. But because you are now so kind of open, you realize that you're so far removed from the ability to find any cover. All you can really do is just hope and pray that nothing sees you or finds you, because it really is completely open. The ground is always frosted. You can see the odd plant here and there, but they're kind of covered in frost as well. Everything seems to just be getting worse and worse. The frost in some small areas begins to give way to very light snow cover. Far in the distance, you can see the kind of the dark outline of a huge mountain range. But of course, you're traveling in a kind of this direction, because you're traveling northwest.
Okay.
So there we go. All right. Yep. So it's getting close to another, another late afternoon, early evening. You're going to continue to kind of travel through the night. Just keep pushing it as long as you can. Okay. Alrighty. So during the day, who was driving? I kind of need to know who's driving in the day, who's driving at night.
I'll drive at night, since I can probably sleep better.
Jeep! Resub, what's up, man? Oh, and Jeep is here,
Jeep,
so you know what?
Yay!
Let's go ahead and see if I can do this right. Let's see.
Jeep, thank you for the sub.
Thank you, Jeep.
Oh,
This is going to be hard to do. Sub with Twitch Prime, appreciate it, dude. Let me see if I can copy.
his name.
Yeah, because, hey, how many eyes are there, right?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. How many eyes
Bam.
are there? Jeep?
There you go.
There you go.
Alrighty.
New mod.
And
For our third
Jeep,
mod. Congrats, Jeep.
you also now have a golden sword. So yeah, we added MC, Jeep, and Rock Lobster to the mod squad today. So there you go. New moderators, congrats you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your willingness to chip in. So our goal is to try to always have a bare minimum of 3 mods in the channel no matter what. And we know that some of you had odd working schedules. Some of you don't need to stay up late. Some of you can't always be here. So we're trying to gauge, adding mods. We lost a couple of mods recently. So we're trying to make sure we maintain a decent amount of mods. Okay.
So what Jane said, Kia would be at night, and we would alternate during the day. Radovan, Beecham, and Marlowe, I imagine. Because if it's cold out, we don't want to.
In that case, then, /R1D6. 1, 2, Radovan. 3, 4, Marlowe. 5, 6, Beecham. Marlowe. All right. Mid-afternoon, as Marlowe is leading the reins on the horse. Marlowe, give me a spot check, please.
S. Spot starts with S.
Correct.
Spur for spot. And 18. Okay. Alright, as you kind of go, as you're heading across the open plains, again, squinting against the snow in your eyes, and the wind blasting you in the face, you
Getting blasted in the
notice,
face.
like, out of the corner of your eye, a large kind of plant, like a large bracken plant, disappears into the ground, like, vanishes underneath.
Ooh, shit.
You're the only person to have seen this and noticed this. What is your reaction? What are you going to do upon seeing it? It's almost like a giant rabbit just sucked a carrot down.
So this is not like anything Marlowe would have ever seen before.
No, it's kind of like, right over here, just a little bit over to the left of you, about 60 feet away. You just literally see this plant as you're squinting, and it's like you see the plant moves. That's what draws your attention to it. As you're kind of like looking, and you see this kind of like plant just suddenly go and get sucked down into the ground.
I would probably pull on the reins and stop the horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna peer out and look down at it to see if I can see it a little better, and it's like not there. It's under the ground now, right?
Yeah, there's nothing to see.
From the back, you're gonna hear right of him,
I
Marlo.
was trying to sleep. What are you doing?
This plant moved.
Okay. It's windy.
No, I mean like it's got sucked back down into the ground.
Rabbits? Bush bunnies?
It was a
Cold.
plant.
Keep
Too
going.
cold. Mm.
Fine. I'm gonna.
Keep going.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alrighty. Okay. As you do so, suddenly the ground erupts right to the left of you, kind of close to where the thing was. And something emerges from the dirt.
Oh no.
I fucking knew it. I knew it wasn't no damn bush bunny. I'm
It's too cold.
Alright. This thing, it looks kind of like a ginormous lizard with like a huge, almost like a shark's fin on its back, a huge, big, massive horn, ginormous canine-looking teeth, and a
Bigger
huge
than a
claws. It is larger than your horse, considerably so. Another
holy
creature
shit.
of the huge variety. And as you continued forward, it is basically making what it is. It has a special ability, which is a leap attack. It dives up. Like,
Oh fuck.
imagine a shark coming clear out of the water and kind of spiraling before it comes down. This thing blurts out of the water, or out of the dirt. Showers of rocks go everywhere, and it kind of comes up and over and is going to attempt to land on your horse.
Jeez.
Is it
Yeah.
close enough for me to like reach it?
Well,
It
it's
will
on the
be in a
horse.
second. Alrighty, and it gets holy shit.
What is this thing? Oh, it looks crazy.
Looks awesome, is what it is.
Love
Alright,
it.
there's a picture of it up in the.
Nice,
land
nice
shark.
choice, Gore.
Pretty much is a land shark. It's the other name for it. Alright, so. Alright. Okay, as it flies over top and attempts to land on the the horse, you notice as it does so, it's bringing all four of its claws into bear at the back of the horse.
Oh no!
Like, this thing, when it's on the ground, would have to stand on at least two of its four legs, but airborne, it does not have to.
Mm.
Plus 25? Are you kidding me?
All right, all four attacks hit the
Yeah.
horse. So
We
that
can't fight
is
this thing.
Jeez. Okay.
It's impossible for it to miss any of us.
okay. Your horse
Shit.
is dead.
Oh no!
Your horse is being torn to shreds as this thing lands on it. You see the claws like dig in deep as it's like, and then the sheer weight of this thing lands on the horse. The horse's legs buckle. It breaks the horse's back, and then as it lands and kind of like on this eviscerated horse with its huge big maw. You see it reach round, grab the horse by the throat, and go and pull out a massive chunk. And then it's just like and starts wolfing it down. All right, I reckon that's probably a realistic chance that there may be combat coming.
Oh, good God.
But you know what? Before we kick off a fight, let's go ahead and take our first break. because that would be a good thing to do. So we're going to take a short break. If you have any questions, now is the perfect time for you to ask them. So you guys that are in the back, you hear the eruption of ground. And you're like, what the hell was that?
You hear Marlo go, "Oh shit!" and then suddenly I'm in the back with you.
Yeah, and then you literally feel the whole cart go as you see something in front land where the horse once was.
I'm in the back with you now. The horse is dead.
Okay, what do you guys want to do?
That is no bush bunny.
Of course, you can always roll initiatives. That would be a fun thing to do.
I would love to, but I can't click my character.
Just always again with this problem with you.
There you are. You're on the side.
Well, no,
it's because he.
See, in the black. I
What
can
I
see
here? What I
Kia
can fix?
and Marlo.
Yeah, here's what I can do.
can't
I
see
can
me.
fix. Let me fix your problem for you by giving
Or will
you.
you fix all our problems?
I can't fix your problems.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the
There, you should. Now you should be able to see yourself. Can you see yourself in the black now?
I can. Thank you.
There you go. Of course, that won't actually last. All right, so Marlo with a 24, Kia with a 19, Rado with a 9. Let's roll for Beecham.
Beecham.
James Beecham
Yeah.
is also on an 8. So we'll add a turn for James. All right, now we have to roll for the thingy, which is a plus that. And the thingy is also going on an 8.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of 8 action going on here. So let me add a turn for the thingy. And because I love you guys so much, even though he is tied with Radovan James, I'm still going to put him last. But technically, Radovan James and the thingy all go at the exact same time. So, all right. So Marlo, you're thrown into the back. You see this thing basically tearing your horse limb from limb. There's blood everywhere. What do you wish to do, Marlo? As you have the initiative.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action. For the first time in my life, I don't want to fight this thing.
Chicken.
Oh, boy.
Chicken. Kia, it's your turn.
Okay. I suddenly...
It just killed a Clydesdale.
It massacred a Clydesdale.
You just hear me say, "That's not a bush bunny," and then I disappear from view.
You casting invisibility?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
Rado. James is leaping off the back of the cart.
I am doing the same, and I'm also casting Magic Vestment on myself.
Okay.
And wielding my shit.
All right, giving yourself a +4 AC. Alrighty.
Wielding your shit.
The
Yeah,
thing
baby.
has not been interfered with by you, so it continues to consume the horse.
Say we let it have the horse, and we find a
Wow.
Do you think we can use it as the horse?
So let me go ahead and do this just to make life easy for all concerned, because I come prepared to cover all eventualities. Right, we have a Kia who is marked Ninja Stealth Mode.
Oh, this map is frozen. Okay. Oh, no, there it goes. Why wasn't it letting me move it a second ago? That's weird.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Marlo, back to you. What do you want to do?
Try your animal handling on it, Radovan. Maybe we can use it instead of the horse, because the horse isn't going to help us anymore.
You hear invisible laughter.
Just get your ass out from behind. We're fighting this thing.
Oh, for fuck. Okay.
For fuck.
Yes, I'm getting off the cart.
Okay. Kia.
I too will be getting off the cart.
All right.
I'll go over here.
Okay.
Be like, are you sure you want to fight it? It's pretty. We could just leave while it's eating the horse.
Beecham just moves further backwards away from the thing. Pulling out his rapier as an instinctive move, but it doesn't look like he has any intention of going anywhere near the thing.
Oh wait, what is this purple thing?
What purple
I
thing?
would have cast another spell as I talked, just so you know.
Okay.
Me too.
I would have cast Bull Strength on myself.
Okay.
I was gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Alrighty. The duration on your greater invisibility is 14 rounds. Is that right, Kia?
Let me go ahead and post it, just so everyone can see it.
Junk Farmer, does that mean swear like a sailor?
No, that's only in her own streams.
Yeah, 14
He said,
rounds.
let out your inner spook.
Alright. Okay.
So it's still eating the horse. It's
Yeah,
not,
absolutely.
Can
I'm
we
actually
go?
gonna turn to the right, see this what looks like a plant, and I'm gonna scream and jump back behind Rider Man.
Because it might disappear under the ground at any moment.
Yeah.
Is there
So-
anything pertinent that we need to get off the cart?
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, you are loaded down. You've got all of those supplies that you brought. You've got I mean, if you think of that huge list of stuff that you had, that's all on this cart.
Can two of us pull the cart instead of the horse?
In theory, yeah. I mean, you can pull it, but it's going to be a hell of a slow haul.
What if we cast enlarge person on Cal?
Then he
that
would
count as
become.
riding him?
Then he'd become small. He would be about the size of a small tiger. He's still not going to be enough to pull a cart.
So would that count as riding him, though?
Shit, we needed that horse.
Avoid the plants.
I'm
So-
just gonna stay there and watch, see what it's doing.
Eating.
Maybe it was just hungry.
I think
That's
it's
what I
going to
think.
eat us any minute now, guys. Get serious.
I am ready if it attacks. Don't worry.
Of course, I'm worried. I give it.
By the time I get over there to attack it, I'll punch it once and it'll turn around and eat my face. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna scooch out from behind the cart so I can see it more clearly,
Okay.
and then I'm going to cast Hold Monster.
Okie dokie. Your track record with Hold Monster has not been particularly good.
That's why I said it with kind of some hesitation.
Right. Alright. Okay. So it
it's a
needs
21.
a 21 or higher to pass. This thing comes with a +6 willpower. Alright, are the dice going to be friendly to you tonight or not?
Please.
Here we go, let's see.
Oh, that was almost a 20.
14! Okay, yes, so you cast Hold Monster. Basically, you see it though.
And then immediately after, I'm going to say, we're going to surround it, and we're going to all attack it at the same time, like a surprise attack. And we're going to put our all into it. The biggest damage we can all do quick. And as he says this, he's going to start his move action to run over there.
Okay.
It's like
Beecham
all together.
looks really suspect about this plan. He's like, oh bloody hell! And then he moves kind of like up right next to Radovan, but to the side here.
Of course he does.
Yeah, because you know
Nobody wants to be near the teeth.
If I get hurt,
that's the dangerous end. That's the sharp end.
We get flanking bonuses. We all attack it at the same time. We'll use all our strength, all our power.
All right, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna dash to the other side of it.
Okay.
Because I do think it gets a saving throw every time after this round. So.
And then it passes its next one and eats me. Got it.
Come on, this will work.
Can you
This will
guys
work.
just back up for just 1 second so I could do mine before yours? Unless you want to freeze.
Up halfway there already. Okay. Guess I'll take a step back, or I won't run all the way up to it then, I guess. Whatever.
Stand 20 feet back.
20.
No, that doesn't work. Do something else that doesn't require us to move because
You
That
said
is
the
really-
most. You said the maximum damage I do. All right.
lightning it or
really
something.
Oh
All
crap! I just dropped my pencil.
right, 3,
Gather
2,
in.
1, and Radaban's gonna attack.
Alrighty.
I as well. I guess all at once.
And don't fire bullets, please.
It's against a cow amendment. It's okay.
Okay, so Kia, you're going to chain lightning it for 41. It still gets to... well, no, I'm not going to give it a save because, again, it's a reflex save and it can't move. So that's 41 points of damage from Kia's lightning strike.
I'm using my strength domain to beef up for it doesn't climb with the bull strength, so it overwrites it as an enhancement bonus of strength. And I'm doing a full attack with my flanged mace.
Ooh. Wow.
That's 3 hits for a total of 52.
Just like whack, whack, whack.
Nice. Oh, that was not meant to happen.
Yeah, it freezes. Come on, spook, and come on.
All right. Beecham stabs at it. And I don't think he penetrated the armor. Nope. He stabbed it, but it's like ting, and you saw his rapier kind of like just go bend and didn't penetrate through.
It's okay, Beecham. Happens to the best of us. Performance anxiety, I get it.
All right. So Marlo.
I'm gonna fall into snake style.
Okay.
Free of burst.
You hit it 3 times for a total of, let's see, it's 23, 31. All right, so that is 164 points of damage. You guys literally just smack, 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 and give it everything you've got. I'd like to say that the spell possibly is worn off, but it's dead.
Yay! Oh, we don't have a horse.
No, but you don't have a horse.
See? Strategy, tactics, working together.
Now we freeze to death.
Fuck.
Radaban, can't you summon creatures? Do you have a horse? Come on.
As I look at the bloody mess in front of me, I'm just gonna like lower my head, mumbling curses. Fuck, 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 fuck. No.
No?
Nothing that can move. Shit. Oh, shit.
Nothing? You can summon monkeys, insects, wolverines.
All
I
right,
fucking told you to watch out for those plants.
Mid-conversation, yeah, another one just erupted out of the ground directly behind you. This one is slightly different shading and shape. It's actually, it's not really larger, but the fin is significantly larger than the other one.
Okay.
Now, I am going to make a perfectly random roll here as to who it is going to try to ambush attack. Kia, of course, it doesn't know you're there, so... Oh, wait a second, though. No, yes, technically it does, because you're on the ground, aren't you? So you have footsteps, so you are making vibrations.
Shit, it's a graboid.
So that is actually potentially a D4, because there's 4 people.
Fuck.
So 1 is
Not
Radovan, 2 is
Slytherin,
Beecham,
not
3 is
Slytherin.
Kia, 4 is Marlowe.
But it's okay, guys, because with the luck that we're
Fuck.
having right now,
Oh
it's gonna
my
attack
God.
Beecham and
It's
kill our
me.
guide, and we'll be
It's
stuck
me,
out here
Marlo.
without a guide or a horse.
All right. This
God
thing
damn
comes
it.
bursting out of the ground, like where Kia
guy.
is, and basically with its two front claws, it's just like slashing. It's not gone airborne like the other one did, so it's actually only making 2 main attacks. And fortunately for you, that means it doesn't get its massive bonuses for that. But
Still fucking hurts.
so the first attack, and I'm giving it -4 because it can't see where you are, but it knows that you're there. So I'm giving it -4 on those attacks. First one,
Yay!
Oh shit.
the second one,
Please. Please. Yes.
and
Okay.
then the bite.
Come on. Yes!
Holy shit! Somehow, Kia Liana, you dodged a huge bullet. The thing bursts out of the ground. As it does so, Kia's kind of thrown, like as the dirt erupts, you see her kind of lose balance and stumble 5 or 6 feet over to the right or left. And the thing goes for exactly where she was, like... And then you see it like rip as if it's trying to tear something apart that isn't actually there.
But we don't know this because she's invisible, so
Yeah.
for all we know, she could be in its teeth, and we just can't see anything.
You hear me go, ha ha ha!
Okay.
Listen to her! She's screaming! Oh my god, she's dying! Okay, so seeing this thing burst out of the ground and land kind of where Kia was and start attacking nothing, what do you want to do, Marlo?
Freak out a little bit and probably charge it. Let go of Kia, you bastard!
I'm fine.
Okay. You have distance. If you want to make a charge attack, you have the distance to do so. So you get +2 to hit.
Yep. I am, and that's a single attack, right?
Single attack,
Or-
but with +2 to hit. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hold on, I forgot to include my style. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay. No flank, no power attack. It's 2. -1. What?
You did plus again, the double.
Yeah, you got the extra
additional
plus
attack.
in there. Don't add the plus.
You rolled a 20
But
though.
you did roll a 20.
Awkward.
But it wasn't a crit, I don't think. I mean, 10.
Well, I mean, it rolled a 0, so, like, for fuck's sake, I'll just do it again. Hold on.
Yeah, in those fields, don't do the plus, just the 1 or the 2.
Alright, I always forget that.
Yeah.
Blank. -1.
Doesn't count milk. Sorry.
Yeah, good. It doesn't count. Thank Cuthbert. You know.
Now it didn't roll anything. Oh, for crying out! What did I do
broken.
wrong?
I don't know.
Oh, there
There
it
you go.
Oh my! Are you?
And well, it's not a 20, but it is a crit.
Oh.
And a 22 is exactly enough to
Yes.
confirm the crit. So you actually you run over there and punch it for 21 points of damage. That's a hell of a punch. You got its attention for sure.
Well, I thought it had Kia. Now it's gonna turn and look at me, and I'm gonna be like, shit.
All right, Kia. Will the
I'm
real
running.
Kia please stand up?
Running and then jumping onto the cart. Freaked
Okay.
out that he could knowing
Right,
I'm invisible.
look at
so
your
he must
distance.
have
Check
felt
your
me.
distances on this scale because this is a large scale.
Oh, it is. I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. Oh, hang on. No, let me. I think I've got the scale wrong.
Oh,
Let me make sure I've got the scale right on this map because I copied it over. Yeah, no, hang on. Those should be. see. Those are 15-foot squares. So there you go. Okay, that's more accurate.
Okay, so that's still 30 feet then.
So you were here. So you ran over. What was it?
Yeah. So my movement was running, and then
Your movement
action's
rate is to
jumping.
run over, and then you have to climb up on the cart, which is a move.
That's all I'm
Oh,
doing.
that's an action. So that gets you over there and up onto the cart. Okay.
Then I'm gonna say, I'm on the cart.
Radovan.
I am going to do. I'm within range. 30 feet because I don't have plate armor. So it's one benefit. I'm going to charge over there and do an attack. It's not a flank, not a power attack. +2 is a bonus because it's a charge.
You hit it for 14.
Yay, 14.
All right. Beecham, he goes over there, but he kind of stops and hesitates before he gets to it. It's like, so he's not getting a charge attack. He's not brave enough to charge it.
Seeing him move over there, I'm gonna be like, "You stupid bastard! You're standing on a plant."
And he misses. Nampio2, thanks for the follow, buddy. All right. So he runs over and has a stab at it. And now it is its turn. All right. Realizing it's being barraged, it's going to spin around. And it is going to focus its fire on... 1 to 2 is Marlowe, 3 to 4 is Radovan, 5 to 6 is Beecham. Poor Beecham.
Boy. Here we go.
I told you we're gonna be out here without a horse or a guide.
All right. The first 2 claws rip into Beecham, and then it chunks down with its mighty jaws. Hang on. Which will be at a plus... That's a crazy amount. All
Beecham,
right.
you idiots! I love you, but you idiots!
God, it's Trent all over again.
So it hit him
This
3
guy's
times.
not
So he takes from the claws...
36 plus 4.
So he takes 23
my
points
God.
from the claws, and he is taking... Actually, got away light on the bite, 13. So 36 points of damage for Beecham.
Breathe, Radovan.
So this
Breathe.
thing literally, it like slashes into him, knocking him over, snaps down at him. The teeth like graze into his shoulder, but don't actually grip hold of him fully as they come close, and he kind of like scrambles out from underneath it on all fours, screaming as he does so out to the right of it. Marlowe.
Shit. I'm gonna start yelling as loud as I can to try to get the thing to focus on me.
Okay.
And greater flurry. Is it flanked? I mean, he's not exactly facing it. So.
No, he won't add a flank bonus because he's not actively doing anything. He's
Right.
So yeah, no, it's not a flank this time. You hit it 3 times, so 23 plus 7, you hit it for 30. Alright, so you and smash into the armor plating, cracking and damaging the thing as you do so. Alright, Kia, from your vantage point on top of the cart.
From my vantage point, I raise my finger and cast lightning bolt on it, which is similar, but just a straight shot of
Alright,
electrical energy.
it does get a reflex save against that because it's not held and it is fully conscious and
How
aware,
dare
and it has
you.
room to move. And it actually gets a +8 reflex.
Wow! Beat a 17.
This thing is huge.
Damn
And
it.
it does so it's taking 18. Alright, doesn't take full damage from your lightning bolt, I'm afraid. Radovan and Beecham. Right, Beecham stabs at it once again. Like he rolls up, gets on his feet, and then he's going to stick another attempt at stabbing the thing. He will get the flanking bonus because of Marlowe.
Oh my
And he
God.
still fails with his gingerly kind of...
Can I yell, Beecham, get back here!
How is
He's
how is
looking
Beecham
around
looking?
like, where's here?
The cot!
Alright, Radovan.
Are you even trying?
Is Beecham like?
God,
How
too
hurt
much
is he? I mean, I know he's bloody and he got bit.
he's bloody,
being
but
trained.
he's not he's not close to death by the looks of it.
All right, so I am going to cast a spell defensively because I am in range of it.
Okay.
So I will do a defensive cast right here.
Righty,
It's
which gives you
15
a
plus the spell level, right? So I have to get over 21.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which
that's
you
happening.
do so easily.
And I am casting Summon Monster 6.
Finally!
Hold on.
Alrighty.
This is your favorite part, Gore, because I know you love finding tokens.
What are you summoning?
I
One?
am summoning a polar bear. Yeah, because it's a level 6 spell. You can only cast
Oh, okay.
I just have it in that so it's like very visible for chat to see that it's.
Bear.
So it's a large animal polar bear.
Can we name him Coca-Cola?
I hate you.
Alright, there's your polar bear. Where do you want him?
I'm putting him.
Cola.
Right. He's larger than that, Gore.
He's large.
Can he pull the cart? Because he'd be
He's
okay
not
with
huge.
Cole.
This
I'm
thing's
putting
huge.
him-
He's large.
between the creature and Beecham,
Cola!
if there's room.
And now Beecham is like, shit, now there's a polar bear.
Where the
Great.
hell did the bear come from? And he stabs the bear. No.
Right,
That's,
he actually hits that.
that's the beautiful initiative of the polar bear,
4.
because I know how to roll well on initiatives.
Alright, let me go ahead and add your bear to the token. God. 4. Okay. And move him.
Wow.
Japanese for
Coca-Cola.
bear, isn't it? Pretty sure Kua is Japanese for bear.
Okay. That's Radovan and Beecham done. Now
Can
it's
that
the-
polar bear pull the cart?
for a very short period of time, yeah.
Like 14 rounds.
Yeah. All right. Our beastie. I'm going to roll randomly D4 this time. Beecham is 1. The bear is 2. Radovan is 3. Marlowe is 4. Pray for the bear. Oh, you lucky, lucky bastards. So it is attacking the polar bear this turn.
That is
Alright, well, I
wonderful.
wanted to be able to do something before it dies. But
That's
sure.
probably not going to happen, but the good news is...
Hits. It's a 15 AC. Fucking hell, man.
So he rolled a 15. That's just you told him to.
Oop, quiet. We wanted to survive.
hits it 3 times.
Yeah, okay.
So, slash R 4d6 plus 8 from the claws.
It'll survive this, I think, unless you roll like.
So it takes 26 from the claws.
All right, 26.
And then it takes a further 19, so 45 points of damage.
So it has 22 health left.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
actually
nice.
still alive.
It's a level 6
Wow.
creature.
Yeah, it's
Holy-
fairly tough. It's fairly tough. Now its turn.
All right, so 20 plus 13, 2 claw attacks.
Xbox is loud.
Miss.
You bastard. Oh my
And a
god.
miss.
Why are you guys laughing?
But
We
it does
wanted to do
successfully
well.
bite.
It's
You
so
guys, I'm not laughing.
Hey, you guys.
2d6
You get a
plus
bite.
sad. One bite.
God damn it.
bitch! Run!
2d6 plus 4. For 13 damage.
13, alright.
That helped.
I love how Jane's laughing. You want the bear to succeed.
I do.
No,
I
she
just
wants the bear
nervous
to
laugh,
die.
Okay.
She's laughing to keep from crying.
Alright,
Yeah.
Marlowe, you're up.
Oh. Yay.
Haha, the bear rolls like Shagget, doesn't it, right?
Now Now the bear's flanking for me. Yeah. No. Yes.
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 That's
Oh.
2 hits.
It's a 19.
Still a 19.
Ah, bloody 19s, but it's a confirmed crit though, so that's a nice. That's definitely a good crit.
You crit your pet!
Only 2 hits though.
So you have a
26.
a total of 26.
Yay!
All right, this thing definitely looks worse for wear, but it is nowhere near dead yet. It seems to be considerably tougher than its mate.
It's because it's the female.
Kia, you're up.
Alright, you see another lightning bolt whiz past everyone's heads and attack this thing. Oh, that's a good roll for that. Oh, wow.
And
Damn it, just
it
barely.
did save, so it still takes 23. All right, it's serious. So now, yeah, that definitely hurt it. It is seriously damaged. It's like
That bear is about to become Coke Zero.
Did you make that up all by yourself?
No, Endless did.
I was gonna say that doesn't. That's a good
making
one, dude.
fun of my bear. I'm upset right now.
All right, it is going. The creature is going to attack. Same order.
What about?
Well, you guys all go at the same time, so I'm just getting to see
okay.
who it's attacking.
Got it.
Beecham is 1, the bear is 2, you are 3, Marlo is 4.
We weakened it for you, Beecham.
Because
Try
it
to
doesn't
poke it
die
again.
like when
Got it.
you. Oh, okay, Marlo, you got it this time.
Oh yay!
So its attack is happening at the same time as you guys. So Beecham makes his attack with his flanking bonus.
Kill it, Beecham.
No, almost, but he didn't quite get
So close.
a lick in. All right, Rado.
All right,
guess
full
it's-
attack.
You'll hit it twice for 22.
What the what?
Bug Step, thanks for the resub. Spam your pants off.
Hey, thank you.
Bug. Got this.
2 months for you. All right, Radovan. The good news is Radovan will kill it, but because it goes at the same time, it still gets its
I
attack.
still get hit.
So you still get your delicious, goodness of attacks. Missed.
Woo, woo. It's currently dying.
And does it get a taste of Marlowe? Yes, it does. Okay.
does.
So
I
it
thought
gets
you were gonna roll a
it-
crit, and it was gonna be like, yeah, okay.
All right. So basically, as it dives around to snap at Marlowe, it sinks its teeth in, doing 16 points of damage as Radovan's mace comes down across the back of its cranium with a loud crunch, and it
Love the
collapses
crunches.
down to the ground, also dead.
Yay!
That could have been a lot worse. Get
That's
your
2.
bear away from the plant.
That's 2 killed.
Okay, I'm gonna look around to see if there's any other plants disappearing or rumblings in the ground.
There are 3 more plants. I'm just saying.
Beecham, get under the carriage now.
Well, I certainly don't want to be too close to this thing, so
Walk around the plant, please.
right. So he kind of moves over. He doesn't get under the carriage, but he crouches down behind it.
Right beside the other plant.
Everyone, look
Get
around.
on the cart, Beecham. It felt my feet on the ground and I'm invisible.
Oh, really?
It'll still attack you.
Okay. You don't have to tell me twice. Okay. He climbs up onto the cart.
I'm not going to.
I'm just gonna be searching around. I'm gonna have my bear out there too, for the duration. So it's like another 12 rounds,
Right.
and I'm just gonna see if I hear anything else, like
Oh, no.
what Kia.
What the hell the plants have to do with anything? It's not like that's their hair or anything.
It was just that it was tunneling underneath it, so the plant like got sucked down as it went under. That's what it was.
It's the hair. It's the hair of the monster.
Do I do a spot check or a listen check?
For what? What are you doing?
I'm checking to see if I hear or see anything.
Well, you can make both then.
All right.
Oh, so we can do that. Great.
Radovan, you're eyeballing the ground feverishly, but you see nothing. You hear nothing but the wind.
Okay.
I want to feel the ground.
Okay. You
a
put your
field
hand
check.
down. Give me a survival check.
Oh shit!
Use your survival talents. It's cold. The ground's cold.
We're. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we're gonna have to scavenge our supplies from the wagon and go on foot.
No!
Shit.
There must be something.
Yeah, can't you like protect me from the cold and then like enlarge me a few dozen times and then I'll just pull the card?
Marlo, it doesn't work that way, I'm afraid.
It's all
If
about
I
the
cast my-
unfortunately, the duration of spells is great for combat, but not for hauling people across the ground forever.
Tie me to the cart with a rope. I'll cast my fly spell. The fly spell will blow me into the wind, and I should just be pulling the cart. Like a kite.
You use make a Kia kite. She can hold her cloak out like this.
I think, Kia, you need another commandment.
What? What?
Thou shalt not make stupid decisions.
Whoa. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be creative here instead of just leaving our cart.
Of course.
Let me see.
I
How
am
much further
going.
to the nearest settlement, you think, Beecham?
Well, we were at least 3 days away from the edge of the mountains by cart. Of course, we can move We can move almost as fast on foot, but well, we'll get fatigued, so we'll have to stop. So, I dare say we're at least 5 days away on foot from making it to the coastline, and then at least another 4 days to get to the settlement.
So while he's saying this, I'm going to use my last level 6 spell slot to cast a heal spell. That's to everybody.
Okay, so everybody gets healed 23 en masse. Okay.
I'm going to say, I have other heals if you need it. It's just, I'm burning my slots, you know?
You're
Beecham
fine,
kinda
Red
says-
Man, thank you.
I'm not worried
At
about
least
health right now.
If these creatures are in the ground, at least maybe our small footsteps will be less than the noise and vibrations of a huge horse and trundling cart. Perhaps we'll be less likely to attract attention from those.
We're likely to freeze to death, though.
Well,
We can bring all the furs, wear them.
All the furs.
we can roll up the canvas and take the canvas, although it is quite large. But if we take the canvas and the rods, maybe we could make a makeshift tent to camp in the evening or at night.
We could do that. Kia, cast your fly spell, but obviously don't go too high, just right over the grounds.
Why?
And so you less, like what Beecham said, there will be less vibrations.
I just tried to go 5 feet in the air the other day,
Well, don't
and I
go
got
5
blown.
feet. Go like 3 inches. Like
Even just that will push me.
She'll have to make a save every round.
really just like an inch.
Yeah, because she
'cause
doesn't
it's the
have the
wind.
traction of the ground to hold her in place.
Yeah.
Like when you're walking into a 45-hour wind, you can lean into it and push.
That's true.
Once she goes
Alright.
up, she's got no
Unless
ground.
you want to tie a rope and hold me, Radovan.
That's actually not a bad idea.
How much of the stuff on the cart are we going to be able to salvage, though?
Well,
Anything?
nothing else has attacked you thus far, so it's possible that maybe no more of these things are in the immediate vicinity, so I guess you can kind of have one of these.
Yay!
I don't want it. I refuse.
Because it's not really a win. Now we're screwed. Okay,
I wish we could take some of this alcohol or anything we could bring to the people.
how
Yeah, so
heavy
you
is
guys
this
need to
cart?
decide how heavy is the cart? Heavy. I mean, on flat ground, 2 of you can pull this thing. But once you start heading towards the mountains and stuff, you're going to be going uphill, and then it's going to become almost impossible.
It's not feasible, guys. We're just going to take all the stuff for survival. Some of the food, we're just going to have to distribute it evenly amongst ourselves. And the canopy, like you said, I do have a rolled up tents. And
Oh, then you don't need the canopy. So what are you going to take off the cart, seeing as you have no horsey to pull it?
All of the furs, at least. We could all
I know.
wear those.
We'll use the canopy and the rope to pile stuff on that wouldn't be, and we would just drag it like all together. We'll have it tied
So
to
that
us.
the snow can mount up on it and make it heavier.
But we'll clear it off when it comes to that. But we can try to salvage as much of this as possible. We might have to leave like the liquor and the gifts and stuff.
We could drink the liquor now and then be on our way.
We'll get warm that way for sure.
I'm pretty
People
cold.
wander drunkenly off into the blizzard.
But what about that idea? We'll use it as like a dragging.
I like it. We could try.
We'll be like our own sled dogs, I guess.
I'm gonna take the canvas and open it up. I'm like, well, pile stuff on.
Load it
We'll
up.
try it.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Because that's not going to cause vibrations on the ground.
Well,
Let's
we just have
just
to
do
kill
it.
him.
Well, we gotta take our chances, you know. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the canvas to drag a lot of the gear that we might not be able to carry outright.
Right.
And we'll leave the biggest stuff there. Such
Yeah,
as the
leave-
chest that you bought.
The chest, the whiskey, I guess, because that's like a keg or whatever.
Right.
And
We should all
we're-
have one round, though, before. You would just leave it. To keep
What?
warm. Just to keep warm. Very
Okay.
practical use.
Right. Beecham looks at you and he says, being somebody that spent a fair amount of time at sea, I can actually tell you that drinking whiskey and brandy and rum and such things is actually probably detrimental to keeping you warm. As much as I would love to down a few
What?
of these myself, I think it would be of a hindrance.
Wouldn't be good for your circulation, at the very least.
How
Maybe
do
just
you
one.
all know this?
Maybe just one.
It makes me feel warm.
Well, Kia, I did used to be a raging alcoholic. It was winter a few of those times.
Well, it's just like those Saint Bernards or whatever the hell they are that they send with the brandy. That's not to get the people warm. That's probably to knock them out so they're easier to bring back.
All
Or
right,
so they don't think about it when they're dying.
That's right.
let's just go, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it warms you initially, but then, of course, you know,
It also makes you sleepy, and going to sleep in the cold's not good.
bad. It's bad.
Or my polar bear is definitely gone by now. So,
Bye-bye. Okay.
Yeah.
so I guess we're gonna be walking.
Yup.
Come on, Cola. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Cole's gone.
Cola.
All right. So, what specific? So you're taking the food and the rations.
The climbing gear, the survival gear, the furs,
And leaving
tents,
all the other
leaving
stuff.
the whiskey.
Give me the rum, shovels, hose. We could keep the seeds.
No,
Yeah,
Red Van
but-
needs to bring the hose with him.
And then bring the hose. Well, I'm bringing the hose with now.
Even
Okay.
the chest with the wall.
The hose just follow him. He doesn't have to carry them anywhere.
Don't leave the hose. Don't forget the hose. Take
Yeah,
all
so
the
then-
hose.
Chest with the kegs. We're leaving. So
Yeah, the real heavy stuff we're leaving. The rest we're putting it on, and then we're all gonna drag it. With tied around our waist. We're all dragging it together in like a little line to make it easier on all of us.
Okay,
As we
so
drag the
basically
canvas.
you've got it all bundled up, and then a rope tied between all of you, and as you walk, it's being dragged behind you. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
It wouldn't be a
Okay.
bad idea to get to tie us all together.
Oh,
Ah!
wait.
Kia's gotten
Look at
huge!
the holy shit!
Look out, Kia!
Oh,
The attack
God.
of the Kialiana. Okay, sorry.
The cart.
All right.
Reminds me of those creatures we in the desert that just popped out of nowhere. Remember, Kia? When we were going in the desert, Lablantan, those creatures that popped out of the ground and they looked like ants, weird insect creatures.
Well, you have such a good memory. I
Shouldn't
thought I
Beecham be in the
expected-
front? He's like our Sherpa.
You want him in the front?
Yeah.
No, he'll probably die if he gets hit with
Right.
the blast of the snow.
Put them in the
Put
middle.
it- Yeah.
Yeah.
There, that's probably the best.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you guys drag the provisions behind you and begin to trudge in the cold across the open ground. All right. So here's the thing with that, and we can get rid of our friendly land shark creature off of the screen here because don't want him around anymore.
Why are there plants in the snow anyway?
Well, it's not snow here. It's kind of frost.
Tundra, so it's like that
yeah.
permafrost crap.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Alrighty. So you guys are going to trudge drearily through that. So here's the thing with climate. And the fact that you are like not really shielded from it anymore as you're kind of walking. So it kind of cold climate has problems.
Yeah.
Like as you guys are walking for extended periods of time, you start to suffer fatigue and start to have like other problems, which potential frostbite, things like that. Obviously, anybody that Radovan casts protection from elements is absolutely fine.
All of us. All of us.
That would have been Marlo because she wasn't it? Oh no, it was Kia because Kia would be doing it at night.
Well, who? Yeah, Kia. So Kia currently
'Cause it was-
has.
Yes.
Kia has that, so you're not affected by that.
Yeah.
But basically, what happens is you're going to start taking. Now you guys are protected, so you're not unprotected because that would be really bad. But with being protected, it's like you still are going to have to make like survival skill checks to try to limit the fatigue. And with extreme cold, you will take 1d4 points of non-lethal damage every hour that you fail a 15 plus 1 fortitude save. So how that's going to work is every hour you travel, you make a fortitude save. Initially it's plus 1, so the difficulty is 15, then it becomes 16, 17, 18, 19 per hour.
Yeah.
Damn it, Monk
except for
doesn't
Kia,
have
she
anything
doesn't have
to
to.
protect me against this either.
No. So, yeah, that's a thing. So, I don't want to make you guys roll every single hour, but what do you guys? What do you have? You guys have a game plan to how to deal with this?
No.
Not
I
really.
just decided to die.
Like the idea would be when it starts to get dark, we camp and try to recuperate.
We don't have the horse to cuddle anymore. We're
Right.
gonna have to snuggle all up together.
But I mean, when it comes to just walking and shit, and during
Everybody
the day,
get naked.
no. We don't have a plan.
My plan is everybody get naked.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Like
that's a great
freaking-
way to die.
Like garter snakes together.
But yeah, I mean, especially this first day, we're not prepared for it, so we don't have a plan. Not this first day.
We could have
Just go
climbed
until
up
it's
that
dark.
horse. Sorry, I have nothing to help us, so it's up to you.
Nope, that's it. We're just taking it. Well, Marlowe and Beecham are at least.
I mean, Radovan can, like, heal through the damage. You can always do that. As long as Radovan basically dumps, you know, a decent AoE heal on everybody, he can... But is that what you want to do?
Well, how many hours do we have to travel for this first day of us being kind of screwed?
What, from here to... Well, I mean, it was late afternoon when this happened, so... It really depends on how many hours you want to travel.
So how many hours? Yeah, so how many
Till
hours until
nighttime.
the evening, until nighttime? And then we set up
You know,
camp.
probably about 4 hours until it gets dark.
So we'll go for 4 hours.
Yeah, so we will be traveling for 4 hours this first night.
Okay. All right, so you do so. Once the sun goes down, you feel the cold get worse and worse. You feel the temperature start to kick in. You're all starting to shiver.
I do think we would pitch that tent and probably all honestly sleep together with furs and blankets all on top of us.
Pretty much, yeah.
Gonna cuddle.
All right.
This sucks.
I'm going to make a survival check for Beecham.
Oh, great.
Don't die, Beecham. Don't you freaking die.
18. Okay. Beecham did bring one. He actually brought a shovel. And he says, it's kind of tough work, but perhaps if we dig out a little of the top layer of the frosted ground, we can pitch the tent over more exposed dirt, and it won't be quite as cold.
Well, let's take turns. Let's
Sounds good.
Okay.
do that.
All right, so you guys kind of like dig in and start like digging out a small area of the...
Can I just fireball the ground for this one?
I mean, that would definitely raise the temperature short term.
But
How
wouldn't
about-
it dig
how
through
about-
a little bit?
Yeah, we dig first, then you fireball the hole, so then the dirt top layer is warmer, possibly.
Yes.
And then we'll lay the tents, and we will be
Sounds
cuddling
good.
tonight, all of us, I'm sure.
That's not a problem, Radovan.
All right. Okay, so you guys pretty much
Except
all...
we've been traveling for like what, a couple weeks now, and we've probably not bathed. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
All right. So you guys do that, and then you all huddle in the tent. Now, with the fact that you've got, but because you do have the tent that protects you from the elements itself, or at least from the wind, you've dug out a little trench, so it actually gets rid of the top layer of frozen dirt, so it's not quite as cold. Kia pre-scorched it, did a scorch earth effect. So at least for the first 30, 45 minutes, there's a reasonable amount of warmth inside the tent. After that, it's, again, an uncomfortably cold night. But bearable, with all the furs that you have and out of the main... the wind chill factor is what the problem is. That's what's way worse. But you managed to spend the night throughout. The following morning, you kind of all awake, freezing cold and chilly.
Fire, anybody? Let's make a fire.
Yeah, Beecham's like, I wish we could have brought some of that firewood with us.
Oh, shit.
We're just gonna have to eat the cold food. But the elements will not be as big a problem today.
Why not?
Now that we're in a worse situation, I'm gonna prepare and really fucking hurt my spell slots. I'm casting 4 protection from elements.
All right, so you're basically loading up protection of elements in that slot.
I
It's worth it,
absolutely am.
Radovan.
I mean, after what we just went through in that afternoon after losing the horse, he definitely is basically sacrificing all his spell
Thank
slots
you.
for.
Thank you.
All right, well then every one of you is protected from elements, and you are able to travel much faster, much more comfortable. So with that being said, you guys can make some real headway the next day. Now,
Yay!
Is
Just
this
hope
your
nothing
kind of
attacks
like
us.
daily routine that you want to go to?
I don't want it to be, but until we come to some sort of civilization that we can procure another wagon or horses or something, he will sacrifice all his spell slots for it.
Okay. That
Although
makes sense.
he does it very begrudgingly, and you kind of hear him as he's walking, apologizing to Cuthbert for
Are you
doing
apologizing to your god for keeping us
Dear
safe?
God, I'm
I just-
sorry. I am keeping us warm. I'm using your magic as a a holy fire heater. But okay.
I'm just gonna kind of lean over and be like, "Tell him I said thank you."
I'm serious, Radovan. What's wrong with sacrificing
it. Look,
us?
so long as I'm beginning to think we can't be just idle observers. If we get to civilization, we're going to actually have to try to affect positive change.
Well,
Just-
yeah.
I just remember what we talked about before we left Rockhelm.
Isn't this for the greater good to not let
Well,
ourselves die?
We're going to have to really step that up.
Just stop being so negative about it. I am, for one, very grateful for your god
right.
for doing this for us.
Right. Got it. I'm just going to go silent as we continue on.
I mean, well, if he didn't like it, he would just let us freeze to death, right?
It's true.
There is that way of looking at it. Yeah.
That's very true.
Thank you, Mr. Cuthbert, sir.
All right. Well, you managed to travel, albeit with the aid of protection from elements or endure elements. You guys, again, you're making a lot less vibrations. You're much smaller to see. You're no longer a huge, big painted target on the landscape. You get closer and closer and closer to the mountain range that splits Arconis from the Great Northern Peninsula. Another 4 days of travel, and eventually you can see that the mountain range is kind of split to where you can see a gap to the left of it, but you can also see the expanse of the great ocean ahead of you as well.
Oh, good water. That'll make the breeze even better.
Oh, it's gonna get, yeah.
So Beecham, we're going to obviously circumvent the mountains.
Circum what?
Circumvents?
Oh, okay.
Circumnavigate?
Circumvent. Okay.
What do you
No,
think I said?
no.
Circumcise?
No, I never said that. I never said that at all.
I don't know. Spook laughed too. So
I'm sorry. I was laughing at MC, not you.
Yeah, Cuthbert begrudgingly grants warmth and nut punches Radovan in retaliation. There you go. Okay. All right, so you guys continue to travel. Another day later, you are kind of parallel with the horizontal mountain range. So from the world map perspective, you guys are right here. Not that you can see it, but there you go. But
was
yeah,
very helpful.
you're kind of like right
Thank you.
there by the coast. Okay. Here you are starting to as Spook just said, it is way worse because there's no protection at all. The freezing cold air is coming in across the ocean, and you guys are getting blasted. Now the salt is making it even colder. You've got this horrible salty taste in the air. If it wasn't for protection from elements right now, it's doubtful that you wouldn't have all died of hypothermia, even with your furs.
Right.
Beecham, I don't want to cast aspersions or anything on the people who live north of this mountain range. But why do they? Why? Just why? Explain it to me.
Why what?
Why do they live up here and endure this crap?
Well,
if
I
this
suppose,
is where they're from, like
I
they may not
suppose
know
it's-
anything else.
It's like, why do people live in the deserts? Why do people
I don't
live
understand
in...
that either, to be honest with
Exactly.
you. It's-
Unfortunately, only the gods know where each of us is meant to be born. None of us have a choice. I'm sure if the people beyond these mountains and in the Great Northern Peninsula had a choice and were aware of all the other opportunities that were available, they might choose something different, but...
And that is the worry, right? Because you said about the ships that the Valkyrie have, discovering other areas. It just boggles my mind. People would choose to live in these
Be
situations.
something wrong with them moving south, though, if they became civilized and
Well, I mean, I'm
acclimated
sure
to our culture?
they're used to living in this climate, though. It's not a big deal to them. I question why you live where you live in Arconis if you saw where I live.
Yeah. Spook comes from Candy Mountain. Come to Candy Mountain,
There's hot
Charlie!
candy everywhere.
Charlie, come to Candy Mountain. Okay.
I just...
That's why
Arconis
Spook only has one kidney.
Perhaps we'll be able to welcome them into Arconis if they don't want to live here. You never know, unless they're just truly barbaric. Not that there's anything wrong with barbarians, either.
Well, if they're like the Scarbloods, I would have a problem. But if they were like the Harns Plains, rest in peace. But fair enough. I just have trouble reconciling the choice, if it is indeed a choice. I mean, you know, Beecham, you know that they exist. They obviously know that you are from the south.
Well, some of them know where I'm from, the distant south, yes, but understand, I landed on the peninsula from the ocean. They really have no real grasp of exactly where I come from.
So, do you think it would be unwise of us to tell them where we are from when we arrive there and talk to them?
I certainly wouldn't tell them how you managed to get here. I don't know how you feel about lying, but
Not a
I
fan,
would
to be
tend to
honest.
say that you came from a distant land and you landed here, or you came by way of the ocean. At least lead them to believe that this is a land that is beyond their reach. That being said, I'm sure some of them... I mean, the educated
We just
ones...
say we braved much hardship to get here.
Well, that's not a lie.
No, that's true.
It's not a lie.
Of course, the educated ones would know that there is land beyond the mountains, but at the same time, a lot of them are not very well educated.
So no speaking out of turn, and I'm going to look at Kia and Marlowe. For all of
What?
us to keep in mind, just we got to be aware. Don't present information without knowing whether they are, as Beecham says, educated or not.
Well, technically, I'm from Fujinami, not Arconis, so...
Yeah, if they say, where do you come from, you can say, I'm from Fujinami. Where the hell is that? Oh, way north. Over the sea. Whatever.
All right.
And we are friends. From Fujinami.
I really do hope, Beecham, we can affect change.
Perhaps they don't need to be changed, but we'll see. Clearly
They're
there's
going to war with each other.
clearly there's something wrong there.
All right, well, we're going to take our second break right now. So if you have any questions, now is the perfect time to answer them. Okay. Well, another couple of days of travel, you circumnavigate along the coast, around the mountains, and begin to move finally into the Great Northern Peninsula. The terrain is really no different than what you've been experiencing. It's kind of like frosty tundra. It's mid-January, so again, it's pretty damn cold. It's colder here than it was, but only by a few degrees, so not enough to really make much difference to you guys. A few more weary, long, cold, trudgy days, and it's really starting to kind of wear down on you guys now. It's like you've been walking for 7 or 8 days solid, walking all day in this miserable weather. Your fatigue is getting it. Even when you sleep, you don't really sleep. It's like that kind of broken sleep. If it wasn't for the protection from elements, you'd never sleep. You doze off, but you keep waking up. Finally, after another couple of days of walking through this forsaken territory, ahead, late afternoon, you see small specks of fire in the far distance. Beecham is like,
that heaven?
Finally. It's possible we might actually find some warmth this evening.
Who could this be, Beecham? Where are we close to?
Well,
The doors?
I don't myself know the exact town, but this would definitely be considered the lowlands. Let's just hope that they're in good spirits, and I mean that quite literally.
Surrounded by ghosts.
Great.
You like ghosts. They're fun.
Well, we're gonna trudge on.
I think I'll probably start fixing my hair and stuff. Trying to get myself to look decent. Like,
Now, as soon as
You
you
know?
lost that, I need to change this out real quick.
get out my brush. Put on the best bear cloak.
Your best bear cloak, right? Okay.
Damn.
They're coming for you, dude!
New York.
I know, fucking
All
Eli
right.
Thompson's out there.
Okay. Late that evening, you stroll into an accursed looking place. I mean, by all means of Arconian towns, this place is little more than slightly less than a dozen buildings stuck around a barely carved out mud track.
Awesome.
You can see in the far distance and hear the
Shelter.
bleating of sheep and the odd moo of a cow.
Are they all like, help?
We're dying!
Cold. It's cold.
Help me! Help me!
Beecham, are any of these like a tavern or an inn? I mean, is that a hard thing to have those?
A lot of these villages don't have such a thing. You're not in Arconus anymore.
Oh shit!
What about that large building in the back? What could that be?
Maybe it offers some warmth. Let's make a beeline to it.
Yes, please.
All right.
Do we see any people on the street or on the
Not
road?
at this time of night.
You
no.
be on the streets.
It's just a thought. Maybe.
All
Hopefully.
right. You guys trudge wearily through the town and make your way into the
calming
building
music.
that you hope is something more
Please.
than just a large shed.
Penny's worth it?
Oh
All
my
right,
god.
the cold wind opens the door. Frost and a little bit of frost blows in. Once you walk inside, you are in. It's a pretty simple-looking building.
Some plaid Jimmy Jams.
You can kind of. You get the feeling that this is some kind of tavern, but clearly, looking around you, there are no stairs that lead to upstairs rooms. There is nowhere to stay here. This is just a place to drink. As you wander in, you're kind of like greeted to the sounds of voices that you have never heard before. There is a very deep, guttural language being spoken here. As you look around them, you notice that just about everybody has a sash coming down over their shoulder of a mixed light blues and reds. Some of them are wearing kind of hats with pom-poms on the top. But all in all, they all seem to be in pretty good spirits.
And they all
The
look at
liquor is
four
clearly
strangers.
flowing very vibrantly. And there are only 2 other women in this establishment. The rest of them look like kind of fairly burly, rough and rugged, somewhat dirty looking individuals.
Yeah, but they're wearing arm warmers, so they can't be that rough.
Do they all? What is their reaction when we first enter? Is it like one of those like old westerns where we go into a saloon?
They
and they're just
literally
like, "What the
don't
fuck?"
seem to give a rat's ass. Nobody has paid any attention to you walking in whatsoever.
I'll see. There's an open table over there. I'm going to start making my way cautiously over there.
All right.
What if it's a table that's like owned by someone in town and we?
I don't know, just sit.
And they'll tell us to get up. But they'll probably say it kind of weird, so... Beecham, how do you say get up in their language?
Well, it's not so much that they speak a different language, it's more that they have a rather rough dialect, and their types of things that they say tend to kind of, well, go over your head.
God, I'm gonna be lost for this entire campaign.
Can you understand it, Beecham?
Somewhat. I've managed to piece portions of it together.
They say stuff like, "This is lit, fam." My hair is on fleek, and we're just gonna be lost.
I'm
Okay.
gonna stand up
Okay.
and bravely approach the counter. Excuse me, as I squeeze myself into this chair.
All right. A large, kind of rough and rugged guy behind the counter sees you approach. He walks over and he says, "What can I get you for a bassa?"
My friends over there would like some food and drink, and I'm gonna point at the table where we're sitting. It's been a long day.
He kind of scowls at him and looks at everybody at the table. He says, late. You want a bowl of mutton?
4 bowls of mutton and your finest liquor.
Liquor?
I'm gonna kind of
Hey, you bam pot. What are you talking about liquor for?
the spirits and stuff. You know, your drinks. Sorry, I'm new here. Clearly.
Okay. He kind of glances around and he says, he looks around and he says, "Here, look. We got some kind of Armadan Jackie up in here." And they're all like, "Whoa," and start like looking at you and raising glasses.
I'm gonna like awkwardly like wave at everybody. I feel very much like Raisa does in her, you know, in strange social situations.
Right.
I have money, of course, to pay for this.
God, what if they don't accept our money?
He says, no problem, as long as you got gold, man.
Yes. How much?
See what, like 4 bevies, do you?
Sure,
You'll get blotted, or what?
The first thing. Yes.
You got lightweight.
If that's the first thing, then yes, I will.
All right. Well, he pours 4 large glasses of kind of a light brown liquor. He slides them out in front of you. He says, "That'll be 6 copper."
I'm gonna take out a silver and I'm gonna put it on the table and say, gonna give a nod.
He takes it from you. He bites it. Puts it in his pocket.
Thank you. And I'm gonna back out with the drinks and I'm gonna go return to the table. And if there's more food I need to retrieve, I'll retrieve it.
Okay. Well, pretty much nobody, there was no wench that came to the table. There was no server. This is all like you issued your commands or your orders to one guy, and that's it.
I don't know what this is, but I didn't want to upset him.
I'll take it and then smell it and then try a little sip of the drink.
All right. Basically, it is a fairly strong form of whiskey.
Whiskey red man.
Oh, good.
Oh, whiskey. Yeah, yes, I remember this stuff well.
We have
take out my
mutton
sake
coming.
cup.
Right. The guy, as they're kind of watching you as you've like started to sit this stuff. This guy right here in this chair next to you looks at you, says, "You know, I be heavering, are ya?"
No, we are
No,
not
sir.
from here.
No, you're not listening to me. You're not going to be heavering, are you?
We're not going to be vomiting. No. Did he say heaving? Like
I don't
chucking?
know. We're not gonna be doing something though.
No, Radovan, did you say mutton?
Hey, they're going to
Yes.
get blooded off their fizzog, so they are. Oh, they're not used to this stuff, I tell you.
What did you bring us into, James?
He says, as I said, it's kind of a guttural common.
James,
You seem to be doing remarkably well of figuring it out, though, so bravo.
I'm just agreeing with whatever they're saying. I mean,
me too.
Doesn't- it doesn't do us any good if we're going to be diplomats for them.
And there's no place to sleep here. We need to
Yeah, be careful what you
befriend
agree
somebody.
to.
And
Remember
try
the
to
cow amendments.
The commandments, right?
I said, be careful what you agree to. Remember the cow amendments.
So I'm going to look at the counter to see if the mutton is prepared, or so
Yeah,
I can retrieve it.
He literally has got a cleaver, what looks like a shoulder of mutton, and he is like thump, thump, hacking off chunks. He sticks each chunk on a board, like a wooden board. He walks over and he slings it on the table.
Thank you.
Here, I gotta get that done, you.
Well, it
Okay.
looks delicious.
With
rub
that,
my
he
belly
wanders
with that.
back behind
Okay.
the bar.
Because they care about your gestures.
Yeah, I'm just rubbing
This
my belly.
fellow
and I
right
gotta
here,
stop.
who is kind of like a fairly young guy, he's got like long, flowing golden hair. He's got this stupid hat on, which makes him look like a bit of a twit. But you know, he gets up and he comes walking over and he looks at Radovan and looks at Beecham, and he says, "Are these young lassies yours?"
They are their own, sir.
He says,
can
"So
talk
do you
to
not be
us."
humping them then?"
Oh,
Not at present, no.
That is one of the cow amendments. We do not ride friends.
All right, with that, with that, he kind of walks around and he stands between Marlowe and Kia. Oh, I'm picking up Marlowe there, not literally, apparently. He kind of looks at both of them and he leans into Kia, like brazenly, like just pushes his shoulder between Marlowe and Kia. And he looks at you and he says, "Ha bu ache." And he's got a big smile on his face as he says it.
Since he's like right beside my ear talking to Kia, I'm just gonna say like, "Bless you, Radovan. You ordered me mutton."
He seems to like be trying to push Marlowe out of her chair, like literally. He's like moving in closer, like wedging himself between the two of you. To where, unless you stop him, he is kind of sitting on the edge of, because that's like a bench, so he's like wedged himself into the bench. He reaches over and he like tries to take Kia's left hand, like lift it up.
I'm going to stand up and say, "Excuse me."
All right,
And
he
then
stands
walk
up
over.
with you and he looks at you. He says, "My knee and down," and he attempts to kiss your left hand.
I let him do it, but then I come over here and then squeeze in next to Radovan. And then I kind of like put my left hand on Radovan's shoulder and say, "I've been spoken for."
Okay, with that, he says, "Ah. So you're humping that one, but not this one." And at that point, he shuffles over to Marlowe and attempts to put his left arm around her.
I'm gonna look at Radovan and have big wide eyes, like you know what's coming if you don't say something right now.
She is spoken for as well. And I'm gonna gesture to Beecham. I apologize. I didn't understand your earlier question.
He said a sport plain comment, you lavvy heed. Well, you not understand it.
No.
Where are you from, anyway? Where are you
we
from? You
came-
don't understand common language.
Fujinama.
Fujinama. Never heard of it, you numpty.
It's far. It's a lands far away to the north.
Fujinama.
Fujinami. Fuka. I don't fucking know. I'm in an awkward situation here. I'm not speaking properly.
Getting a little sweaty with my hand on you.
Possibly I'm flustered a little bit. Yes. Look, both of them are spoken for.
He kind of looks at you and says, well, next time, when someone asks you a question, go ahead and answer it. Instead of like leaving it all out in the wind and shit.
Okay. How about I buy you some of the drink, and I'm gonna offer up Beecham's drink. I'm just gonna take it from him.
Well, as you go to take it, Beecham like grips it like
Oh, shit.
he's like, no, this is mine.
Fuck, I'll buy you another. I'll get you another drink. You and your table.
Oh, I would take mine
Spoken
and give
for?
Right, he gets up and goes back and sits down. As he does so, he looks across at Beecham and he says, "Aye, these two lassies aren't a patch of what ye got. Truth be told, I wouldn't have ride either of these into battle, but I'd ride that one."
I'm gonna brush off Kia's hand as I get up.
Sorry, I didn't know what else to do. I freaked out.
I'm gonna go back to this guy and I'm gonna say 3 drinks, 3 more. Pointing at like
He says, "Ah, you have a jockey in you. Here's a jockey, everybody. It's a jockey." And they all look at you and they're like, "Way!" and raise their glasses.
how much?
He says, "Ich, man, it's on the hoose."
I'm gonna leave 3 copper anyway as a tip.
Right, he grabs it
Nod.
and slides it off.
I'm gonna return with the drinks to this table and I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna offer one to each.
All right.
On me.
Well, each one of them takes it and they pick it up and down it in one.
And to the guy who is like sleazing on Marlo and Kia, I'm gonna lean in close to him and say, I'm sorry for misunderstanding.
He says, "Aye, it's no problem. Give you a swallow of whiskey, you bassa."
Hey!
Hey.
Radavan.
I'm gonna leave and return to where Kia was sitting.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure they think you're a drunk.
They weren't wrong a couple years ago. I'm sorry about the mutton. Just grin and bear it. It's food, it's sustenance. I don't think you want to go over there and ask for like cheese and bread, you know? Remember, no, we're not starting any fights or anything. We're keeping the peace.
I'm just gonna push the mutton away and just sit there and drink the whiskey out of my sake cup.
Alrighty.
we need to find a place to sleep tonight.
Right, with that, you notice that this guy is kind of like stomped over here to the center. The barman leans in and he says, "Right, I got some armadans from somewhere off running." He says, "When are we gonna introduce them to a sign of share?" And they're like, "Way!" And with that, you notice this guy that's stomped to the front is carrying what appears to be a bag. The bag has these weird protruding pipes coming out of it, and he sticks one of them in his mouth, and he starts to tap his feet like boom, 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 boom. And as he does so, then this horrible, nasty caterwauling begins to kind of like immerse itself from the pipes that he has in his mouth. It's really not music that you could have ever possibly associated with being music. It's like, oh, thanks for follow, dude. It's more kind of orchestrated noise than anything else. But this is pretty much what it kind of sounds like anyway. As he pipes up. As he does that, everyone around the inn starts like, hey! And they all start clapping feverishly.
I'm gonna join in then.
Yeah,
Right, well, with that, several of them have got up. Your newfound friend has got up and he starts dancing with the two girls that he's in here with. Everybody starts emerging from their chairs and doing a weird kind of dance where they hop around on one leg with one hand raised up high and the other one raised low and spinning around in circles.
I'm sitting down, I'm clapping though.
Alright. So
Everybody's
Beecham
dancing.
leads in and says, "Welcome to the Lowlands."
Hold on, I can't hear you at all.
Well, yeah, we didn't hear you, Gore. Sorry. Welcome to.
It said,
is
"Welcome
up.
to the Lowlands."
Thank you. Should we dance?
I don't think we should be disrespectful by trying to dance. We don't know the moves.
That's fair.
Besides, I don't think we've ever danced. Any of us.
I've danced. Not with you, maybe, but I've done it. Beecham, can you talk to this barkeep and see if there's a place we can stay tonight?
This is a tavern, not an inn.
I know, but maybe he knows of somebody we can talk to.
Oh, well,
Spare bed?
I can certainly ask.
Stable?
I think I did see a stable as we approached.
That'll be our last resort, I think.
Alright, Beecham moves over and you see him lean in and start talking kind of very quietly to the tavern keeper.
Well, if anything, we might need to. Well, we have to figure out where we're gonna go to. Beecham will tell us, obviously, but maybe we'll get a horse or another wagon from these guys, buy it off them.
That would be incredible. But we have nothing. We left all our heavy things behind.
No
Too
gifts.
bad. No gifts.
Buy another gifts, maybe from the barkeep.
Perhaps.
Right, as soon as the bagpiper stops, they all start cheering and clapping loudly.
I'm gonna cheer and clap
yes,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely they all begin to return to their seats.
Just gonna keep eating my mutton, drinking my drink.
Alright.
Wait for Beecham to return.
Okay. Well, a few minutes later he comes back and he says, so the tavern keeper says that we're more than welcome to bed down in the hay in his stable.
Fun.
Quite honestly, it's not the most civilized, but considering what we've been putting up with for the last 8 or 9 days, I'd quite welcome a sleep in surrounded in hay and 4 walls.
It's not uncomfortable.
I think we'll make do. We've done it before, I think. Beecham, do you have any destination in mind now that we're here in the lowlands?
To be honest, no. I was more interested in just getting here alive after all the things that we've been through.
Well, is there like a bigger city to head towards?
Aye, there are larger towns, yes.
I suppose
about-
there we'll find the local chiefs. I don't know if there's any here.
Well, you see, each town... excuse me. And he kind of leans round and he says, my good man, What town is this? Where do we find ourselves? He kind of leans over and he says, Dunedin. Ah, Dunedin. He says, aye, Dunedin. He says, apparently we're in Dunedin.
Dunedin. Okay.
He says, never heard of it before, but by the looks of it, it's nothing more than a small village. But the thing you have to understand about these people is you see every one of them has that sash. You know, the crisscross pattern with blue and red.
Yes.
He says, clearly that represents a clan, a family. He says, we need to find out who these people are. And then remember that the pattern that they wear is associated with that family name, you see. Because here in the Lowlands and the Highlands, every clan will be depicted not only by the strange pattern, but also, and he kind of points at the young guy with the blonde hair, he says, but you see that? Look there on his breast. And you see he's got like looks like a pin that's pinned to his tartan sash. It's got like a feather that comes up in the center. There's some kind of emblem in the middle. And then there appears to be a sprig of holly tucked down inside it, like pinned to it. He says, now, each clan typically has a badge. The badge is representative of who they are, and it's kind of an identification thing. Between you and me and the proverbial kitchen bucket, it's not a particularly clever form of identification because, well, if you happen to know that a particular clan has a particular type of sprig or berry or plant or whatever, it's kind of somewhat easy to masquerade as somebody else. But needless to say, it's quite common that they use this kind of clan insignia or wreath. You see, each one is made up of a crest and a corran sometimes, and also a chapeau. He says, and this is how you can tell who they are. You see, if you look closely, the fellow right there, he has one feather. That means he's an ambiguous clan member.
Ambiguous?
And obvious.
He's born part of the clan, but he's fairly low down. The chieftains usually have 2 feathers, whereas the chief will have 3. And the war chief will have 3, but the center one will be a little lower.
Interesting.
And obviously these are not all just one big happy family, but they are a clan.
Well,
right?
Technically,
Or are they all related?
are all one big happy family.
They're all related to each other?
The odds are everybody here in this tavern that at least are wearing the same. Now, if there are any non-ambiguous clan members, they would be members that have sworn allegiance to a chief that is from a different clan. But while we've been here, I've paid particular attention. I don't see anybody wearing a different kind of sash.
No, you mentioned Jarls when we were traveling up here.
Not here. That's what you'll
They will be-
find. The Jarls are more a structure that the Valkyrie follow.
Got it.
This
And the
here is chiefs. The hierarchy, you see, it goes chiefs, war chief. So there's one chief for each family clan, one war chief for each family. You'll have a
Got it.
number of chieftains who will all be jostling and vying for the favor of the chief to hopefully take leadership of the clan one day. Then you'll have your amigurous clan members, which are those that are born into the family, and then the non-amigurous clan members, which are those that have sworn allegiance without being of the actual bloodline.
Now, will they get offended if we just ask what clan they are a part of? And
No,
is that
they'll
something
they'll be
tell you?
pretty open.
Okay.
The lowlanders and the highlanders alike are very, very
Proud.
proud of the family that they're from.
And so, do we know, or do you know, which of the clans of the Lowlanders or Highlanders are vying for more land to what I assume is the east of here, northeast-ish, where the conflict is coming from?
Well, the thing is, the Lowlanders in that region already own that land, you see.
Okay.
It is the
And the
Valkyrie that
Valkyrie
look to
are
take
coming
it
in.
from them.
So we would have to try to get in with the Lowlanders of that region,
He says, right.
get on
and-
everyone's favor.
I mean, some of the lowland clans that I know of, there is the Skane clan, there is the Ramseys, the Nesbits, the Cunninghams, the Spaldings, Fergusons.
MacGuffins.
But I
Do you
don't
know which
actually
one?
know of. I recognize a few of the crisscross patterns that they wear, but I don't recognize this one.
Do
I suppose we need to talk to them.
I guess we just need a plan of some sort, not just to like.
Right? Goodness. I'm overwhelmed by all of this information.
Why do we need a plan to ask them?
Well, what if they ask us and we don't have an answer?
Well, then I'll ask them. Sir,
Who are you like looking? Oh, you go over to the young dude. Okay. He looks up at you and he says, "Hey, lassie."
oi, what clan are you from? What clan do you all hail from?
He says, he goes, here in, he goes, this fine town of Dunedin, everybody here is McCallum's. And they're all like,
McCallum!
"Whoa!" and raise their glasses. And he says, aye, my name is Blaine McCallum. It's a
Blaine.
pleasure to meet you. And he kind of like goes into a really over-exaggerated low bow.
I'm gonna bow back and say, Marlo Rayfell, I'm from the island of Fujinami, up to the north.
He says, aye. He says, you know, a few more of these, and you'll be looking like sunshine. But right now, he said, your face looks like a skulled arse.
Oh my god. Oh god. Marlo.
And he
Marlo,
says-
sit down.
But pay me no heed. I've had way too many drams of the whiskey, so I have. My tongue's not mean. I think my tongue belongs to the devil.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn around and walk away.
As he goes to sit down, the girl next to him says, "What are you shut your giggle?" He says, "Ach, woman, they're foreigners. They don't know what the shite we're talking about."
Pay them no mind, Marlo.
You hear him say, he goes, "Listen. Hey, you, over there. The fellow with the
Who's
big
he?
pointy horns on his head. The damn, the big cloak that makes him look like a Jesse."
Yes. I'm gonna look over, kind of give like a half smile of
He says,
placation, you know.
"You look like a dog licking piece of a nettle."
He's calling you a wimp, Radovan.
That's true, I am.
He
I'm gonna
says,
give a little wink.
and he nudges her and goes, "See what I mean?" He goes, "He's either bloated or such a numpty, he doesn't even know what we're talking about."
Radovan, I thought these people liked to fight.
I don't want you picking a fight with someone who you'll kill in a hit, just to prove your superiority, but also draw the ire of an entire town
It's
unnecessarily.
not proving superiority, it's getting respect.
We need to swallow our pride here, Marlo.
There's no way to get.
I quite agree. You see, these clansfolk, they have this mentality. You see, every one of them considers an insult to any other one of them personal. So, if you pick a fight with one, you pick a fight with all of them. And this is the way of life, you see.
I can relate to that.
But this is also the problem with clans, because one clan disrespects another, and then it's an entire clan versus an entire clan, and before you know it, there's blood spilt all over the place.
So what would they think of another clan if they insulted them and that clan did not retaliate?
Well, it's really a matter of common sense versus respect, you see. Now, if you don't retaliate, you won't earn their respect, but you'll probably sleep better and live till tomorrow. Whereas if you do retaliate, you'll gain their respect, but then of course you'll have to probably fight everybody in this tavern.
I don't see a problem with that.
Marlo, not everything has to be resolved with fisticuffs, especially when we all at this table know, you will prevail.
Yeah, us, this table know, but they don't know. How are we supposed to, have diplomacy with these people if they don't respect us?
In that case, I can assist you. If you make it open, in other words, if you walk up and slap somebody or make any kind of graven insult that could be taken to be aimed at the whole clan, that's one thing. But if you call a specific person out in the form of a challenge or a duel, then it is pretty much forbidden for anybody else to get involved. And this is a way you can gain some respect.
Marlo, how about you challenge him to a drinking contest? It doesn't entail violence. I don't know. Marlo is. You can hold your liquor, no?
Perhaps if you win, you will gain his respect.
I don't mean to cast aspersions, but up here in the north, as you've seen, it's not very civilized. There's little to nothing to do except farm crops, hump sheep, and drink whiskey.
Well, I'm not farming with them, and I'm not humping their sheep.
From what I've
drinking
seen,
their whiskey.
Miss Marlowe is a dab hand with the fisticuffs. I think she'd have a far better chance of winning a contest that was aimed at beating the living, pardon the pun, shite out of each other than trying to drink one of them under the table.
I could do either.
Let's go with the first.
But if you're going to pick someone to pick a fight with, I suggest you pick well. Make sure you don't beat up somebody, some scrub, and pick a fight with the roughest and toughest, and just make sure that you kick the living shite out of him.
Alright, pick one.
Marlo, doesn't that drink, that cup you use, do something? Or is it just an heirloom from your life?
I think
the only reason why it
does something. Does it do something, Marlo? I don't know.
It's magical in some way. I don't know.
It's not magic. When have you ever known me to use magic?
I thought it was just an item. I apologize. It's just.
You had your mace. She has her cup. I have my cow.
Look, the only one who has slighted us in the slightest, ironically, is that gentleman, and we know he is just drunk and an idiot. So you picking a fight with a stranger I understand the point, James Beecham and Marlo. I just don't see the justification at this point. I don't see.
I'm gonna
Respect?
try to check the pin on his pocket. How many feathers does he have?
Like the guy you were talking to?
Yeah, the dude
One.
that called me an ass face.
One. Which means he is a
He's
he is a
nobody.
McCollum, but he's pretty low on the totem pole.
I think we should just shack up in the barn. Tomorrow, try to negotiate for some supplies to survive, and find a clan that we could, get information out of. That's not as sheep fuckers.
That are not sheep fuckers.
Well, you gotta start making a name for yourself somewhere, Radovan.
It's true. I
Right, but we are not
strangely
exactly.
agree with Marlo here.
But Marlo, we're not a clan because you're Marlo Raphael, I'm Radovan Rainier, and that's Kealiana and James Beecham. We don't have a clan name that we all say that we are.
Do you want a clan name? We could think of one.
I don't need a clan. I'm a Rayfell.
Clan of the Cave.
Well, you were the one who said to pick your name. You have to find a name, pick a name for yourself sometime. That's
You
what
have
that
to
would
make a
mean.
name for yourself sometime. You know it's figurative. I don't. That's.
Right, but you're the only Rayfell.
I wasn't always the only Rayfell.
I understand that, but here in this situation, you are. So you're a clan of one. That's not a clan. So what name are you making? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
It's for all of us. We need to start a reputation. We need to be slightly feared in this area.
I don't think we do need to be slightly feared. That's not the point of us being here.
Being feared and being respected are two different things.
If anything, Marlo, you should be happy that they're calling you an ass face and me a useless pile of whatever.
Well, I'm not, and it's not because that's the words they use. It's because they're doing it because we're foreign and we don't know what they're saying is what they think. They're making fun of us for being foreign. They have no respect for us because we're not from here.
Right, but we don't have to live here. They do.
It doesn't matter, Radovan.
It does if you're doing something needlessly. Who cares what he called us? We know what we are. We know what we're worth.
And that's what matters.
Right, but we all know it for each other. So, you defeated an orc chieftain on top of raging rhino beasts.
Yes, but I'm backing down from a guy who's calling me names.
I call you names all the time, Marlo. We call each other names all the time. It's because we're friends.
Yeah, but that
Who
guy is not my
cares?
friend.
Right, but
Radovan,
See-
shouldn't we listen to Beecham's advice here?
Oh,
he said,
no, that's not advice. Don't listen to me.
No, it's not.
I was simply explaining an option. You asked about gaining respect. I was trying to show you that gaining respect also has advantages and disadvantages.
all I know is that there are multiple ways to gain respect, and not all of them have to be with physical violence.
Okay, what?
Radovan, in Fujinami, I don't have to prove who I am.
And in Arconis, you don't have to prove who you are.
I don't now.
As you're talking, this guy with the pretty much graying hair gets up, and he says, "Well, I pretty much had enough of drinking with ye, and these damn armadans from out the wind. So I'm going home to shag my lassie."
Please make that not be a dog.
He gets up and starts walking towards the door. As he does so, you notice that he has he actually has two eagle feathers on his chest. As he's kind of doing so, Beecham says, "Ah, chieftain," and he kind of does this tapping on Marlowe's hand as he points him like, "Chieftain."
My fist or my drink, Radovan.
Right, he kind of moves in close and he looks at this guy and he says, "If you're not going to hold both of these, me and my good wife, we'll take one."
Fists.
And the guy looks up at him and he says, "Honestly, both of these have got faces that look like pish. Take either fucking one. I don't care."
Right.
Marlo, if you...
And with that, this guy grabs hold of this girl's hand and like pulls her out the chair and he says, "Well, lassie, you're coming home he goes, "You're coming home with me. Me, you, and me wife Morag. We're gonna have a wheel of a time, so we are." "Later, lads!" And they're all like, "Whoa!" And they raise up and he starts dragging her towards the door. She laughs and giggles and doesn't seem to be overly offended by this whole concept.
Radovan, when I came to Arconis, nobody knew who I was.
Right.
I had to start somewhere.
We found you shackled in an orc encampment.
Why do you think I was there?
I know why you were there. You came to Arconis to find people in that prophecy you talked to me about, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, do you really think I couldn't have gotten out of there by myself?
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, I was so full of Kia's revenge against Rochek that I didn't think about the situation. It's just the circumstance of why you were tied up.
One of the first things I learned from my mentor, Saris, was how to escape from bonds. I stayed there for the 2 women that were there, and because I was waiting on you.
Right, but Marlo, we've talked about this. There's a chance that we are not the people you were really waiting for. We just happened to come across each other's paths.
I can't believe that. After all that's happened, you were the people I was waiting for.
And I honestly, I agree too, but you did express your doubts to me a few of those times. So I'm just reiterating that. I mean, I think it was meant to be as well, to be honest.
Well, how I was in Arconis when I came there, that's how we are here.
Right, but you didn't get our respect by fighting me. You joined us and helped us. Well, we fought that slug creature, and we saw what you were capable of.
But it was fighting. Just because it wasn't fighting you, it was fighting someone.
It was a slug creature in the mines. It had no sentience. It had no power of consciousness. I mean, not consciousness.
Alright,
you know what I'm
find
saying.
me a slug creature in this village and I'll fight it, and they'll get their respect. It doesn't matter.
Beecham, as long as what she's doing is not technically against the law, I guess I have nothing else to say.
Well,
if she wants to do it,
I have nothing to say.
if this is a law around here, if this is accepted protocols, this is like the fake court. I can't say anything.
You have to understand, accepted protocols is what's accepted between men. Law is kind of, well, dare I say it, it's kind of aloof.
I gave you the option, Radovan. Drinking or my fist. You don't want me to fight somebody, I'll drink. I'll drink.
If you were going to fight somebody, you should have fought the guy that was just walking out the door.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know.
So, okay, if you really want to do this, Marlo, how about we stay in the barn tonight, and then you get your respect in this town by doing it tomorrow, and maybe we can get a horse and a wagon out of the deal when you obviously win, but hopefully don't kill him. Do you understand? Like,
that would probably be preferable. Beat the living shite out of him, but leave him alive.
Would that work for you, Marlo?
I agree to that.
So we sleep in the barn tonight after a few more drinks. and then spend the day here in the or in the village. Tomorrow evening, a couple of drinks in, Marlowe picks a fight with the chieftain.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I still think
I leave the decisions to you. I am but your humble servant.
How about this, Radovan? That's the plan. And until that moment that Marlowe picks the fight, you get the entire day to try to win respect a different way. How about that? You have 24 hours.
Or I could always drink this moron over here under the table and then fight the chief tomorrow.
You have 24 hours to solve my labyrinth, or you're...
Look, because of what he called you, do the drinking thing to him now, but tomorrow will still be as the plan, as it is, what Kia said and what you want to do with the chieftain.
Sounds good to me.
Because
Alrighty.
I could use some honest entertainment right now, so I'm gonna watch you try to drink this man under the table.
Alrighty, well that's a pretty good spot to finish things. Craig! Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll. Follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
Shagget here. On How We Roll, I play Radovan Rainier, War Priest of St. Cuthbert, who just so happened to author a new academic book that's coming soon. It's titled Libido Rectification for the Required Propagation of Arconis' Depleted Men-at-Arms, or more affectionately titled Mandate Number 2 and You. You can follow me on Twitter at @neb_convos for upcoming book excerpts, just to get the hype going, push up the sales. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, I'm the Dragon Spooker, and I play Marlowe Rayfell, monk and resident badass for How We Roll. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so using @DragonSpooker, or follow my Twitch channel, which I sometimes stream on, twitch.tv/TheDragonSpooker.
Hi, thanks for watching another episode of How We Roll. I am Jane Ivana, and this is my lovely cat, Norman, who really doesn't want to be here right now. You can follow me on Twitter, @JaneOnTwitch with a 0. Shh, don't tell him, he doesn't like birds. No. I stream occasionally on twitch.tv/Jane Ivana, so you can find me there. And I guess that's all we got. You got something to say? Nope. Peace, suckers. Bye.